Hi,
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Tiffany.
Hi guys, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to So Sunday. Go.
Welcome to my quilting show.
Welcome to what? What? No, put it down.
Quilting show.
Welcome to your quilting show. What's your quilting show called? Tiffany's Quilting Life?
Quilting Life.
Yeah.
This is Quilting Life, man.
So today is the 26th of July. Hold on 2 seconds. Got to get the other screen going because I can't see comments. Well, I can, but not too well. Anywho, okay, you gotta move your arm. Don't touch my stuff.
Hi guys, welcome to my quilting show. This is Tiffany.
All right, so
Tiffany.
The video quality, I got to get used to this. Okay, so I got a new phone. You guys probably saw in the giveaway video that I announced for me to talk real quick. My phone broke, so I had to get a new phone. It came. It is not activated though, but it has Wi-Fi. So why not test it out to see how well the live stream is? Not only do I get to test the camera, which I have to get used to where the camera is because it's different on this as it was on my old. For 2 seconds. But I also want to make sure that the video quality is good, the sound quality is good. Make sure it's all great. Making sure that the once the sewing machine starts that it's not going to be totally distracting because I am not hooking up an external microphone tonight because I don't plan on being on forever and a day today. I'm going to try to stick this to an hour. Yep, we're going to try to stay on an hour today, huh? Because we're going to go do other things online, yes. Huh? Yeah, okay. So
I'm going first. I'm going to talk.
You're going to tell everyone who you are? Although most people know who you are. Who are you?
I'm Triana.
And you're Triana. This is Triana, and I'm Tiffany, and she's my little co-host.
And I'm going to go to the bathing suit.
You're going to go get your bathing suit on and do what?
Get in the pool.
Get in the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that your favorite thing to do?
Yes.
Yeah?
Guys, I'm going.
Besides stare at yourself and play with your hair like most girls?
Guys,
la, 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 la. Is that what you were? La, 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 girl, huh? Yeah? Okay, get off my lap. You're getting heavy. So, let me get to the comments and see who is all here. Here, we'll say hi. How about we hold it down here? We'll scroll all the way out to the top. All right, we got Linda. Say hi, Linda. Jim. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
We got Jody. Hi, Jody. Let's see. We got another Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
We got Sonnet. Hi, Sonnet.
Hi, Sonnet.
Let's see. I didn't either. Okay, that's the other Linda. We got Sarah Malcho. I probably haven't seen that name, so welcome, Sarah. We got Leanne here. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Kim. Gwen. Hi. Lisa. Hi. Susan, Brenda, hi, you guys. Let's see, where am I at? Paula, hi, Paula, hi, June. Another Brenda, hi, Brenda. Seems like a new name, so welcome. We got Rowena, hi, Rowena. Hi, Vicky, hi, Deborah. Let's see, hi, Carol. Hi, Terry. Kathleen, hi. Ellen, hi. I'm gonna say hi to Triana. Hi, June. Hi, Janet from Canada. Welcome. They're saying hi to Tree. Hi, Jill. Hi, Aunt B. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Cindy. Oh man. And they're saying hi to Triana. Hi, Janet. Long time no see. And everyone else is saying hi to everyone else. Okay. So today, as it says in the description, I'm going to try to go a little bit further because I know last time I was here on So Sunday, not last time because I did a whole quilt last time and I didn't get to the borders yet. Don't worry, I haven't touched anything. It's still there. I'll show you guys how to make it bigger. Last time before that, the Sunday before that, I did paper piecing and cutting up a phone book to utilize the paper from a phone book, you know, that is expired or old or whatever, as your paper for foundation, for having foundation for paper piecing. I'm going to take a deeper because last time I remember I screwed up, and I know I had done it before. I'd done it right the last time I did this. Sort of besides missing my points on my 1/4 inch because, well, I was new to it. I had to sit and think about it and think about it and think about it. And I went into my head and said, oh, wait, I think this is how I did it. So I actually went and did it correctly. So here is a part of a star. Obviously the colors do not match. It's not whatever, but I actually got it correct. So this would be a 1/4. That's right, 1/4. So 4 of these would make a star. And I don't know why or how I went wrong then, but I did. And now I'm going to attempt to fix my I went wrong. Because I did go wrong, and now I'm going to fix it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make a bunch of these, and I'm going to move that out of the way now that I have showed you. And oh, I got to plug in an iron still, so I might as well see who else is here. Let's see, Teresa. Hi, Debbie. That's the word for me right now. I was trying to nap earlier and I couldn't because my legs are irritatingly irritated, if that makes any sense. I'm having leg issues today. Let's see. Susan loves some foundation paper piecing. Janet. Oh, that's going to be great because you have gotten me so interested in paper piecing now. So I'm going to literally walk you through how to make your own star. I'm just going to stick with the star for now because I don't want to get into any more intricate stuff, but I'm going to teach you how to make your own little star from your phone book paper. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And let's see, everyone's saying hi. I just had a friend give me a phone book. Exciting. How big is your paper block? My blocks are 8. What are they? Hold on. 7.5 inches. 7.5 inches. So they're 7.5 inch 1/4 parts to a star. And now they don't have to be the same. Like all this could have been totally something different. Everything could have been something different. As long as these 4 colors would be the same, then you would see all star points. So I'm going to attempt to my best ability to show you how to do this in under an hour. Because I want to make sure that I get it correct, since last time I kind of was like trying to show you, yay, I did it. And then I'm thinking to myself, what the heck did I do wrong? How did I mess up? And I know I was doing something wrong, and I did do something wrong. So I'm going to solve that by fixing it. Hi, Yogi. Beautiful quilting lady. So interesting. Interested, sorry. Hi, Lynetta. Remember to give thumbs up. Thanks for the reminder, Lisa. One of the best places to learn. Hi, Michelle. Okay, so like I said, I am not used to this new phone. So the camera is like down, and I can literally do front screen or rear screen. And this camera is as good quality as my rear screen on my old phone. So I'm like shocked that this is like super clear quality. Curious, guys, how is the sound? Is the sound quality good? Here, let's make some noise right here. Just so that we can see. Is that too loud? Obviously when there's paper, or when I start sewing, it'll be a little bit louder, but that's at least running, so it should be on the good side. Okay, and I put a full bobbin in here. If I run out of bobbin, that means I'm done. Let's see. So yeah, I want to make sure, and then I'm going to change it around to the back camera, since I haven't used that yet, to see how the quality is on that as well. While we're here, might as well see how good that is. It's a for those that are curious, I got a, okay, hold on, I gotta think about this. LG Stylo 4. LG Stylo 4. It's very slim. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. It has no case or screen protector just yet, which I have to get to ordering that. I didn't think about it when I ordered the phone. I should have thought about it. And then I told Scott the next day, I was like, you know what? That phone is going to come and it's not going to have a screen protector or anything. Ask the person what it comes with, just in case. So he messaged the people we bought it off on Amazon because it's a used phone. And it only comes with the phone, the built-in battery, and a charger, the port thing. So yeah. Oh well, it's a phone and it works and it's like amazing condition. So anyway, I am going to look at the comments one more time. Let's see. And if I don't pay attention to the comments as much, that's only because I'm trying to show you guys how to do this, because I'm going to turn the camera around so that we can do that. We're going to do the rear camera facing down on the table, because I have a disaster like behind the camera today. It is a disaster. All right. I have to catch the replay. Got to work in the AM after this week vacation. Okay, Brenda, enjoy your rest. Sarah, hi Sarah. We got BJ. Hello. Where are we at? We got Kathy here. Hello. Hey Tiff, got live. Yay. Hello, Linda. All right, guys. So I'm gonna put the camera up here and face it down on my disaster and plug the iron in all at the same time. So let's turn this around and see how well. Look at my disaster. Ooh, this is very good quality. Look at that. Look at all those vibrant colors. Look at that. You get the colors from last week's quilt. Look at how vibrant that is. My gosh. It's amazing. Like, look at that. Oop, those are prizes for next week. Look at that. That's clear quality. So you guys can stare at my disaster for a moment. I'm going to tip the camera down on this wonderful chingamabobber. Hopefully it'll hold the phone long enough. I'm going to turn that, plug the iron in, and come to you what I'm doing here. Okay. So last week where I went, or not last week, the week before, where I went wrong. So where I went wrong was I had to piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, blah, blah. That's not how it works. I had to dig through all of my boxes of junk, because I have tons of things that I've drawn out, and find my original. Here is my original. As you can tell, it's missing all of its points, because I know when I first started doing this a long time ago. This is the 4. You can see there's 4 quarters here. There's 4 pieces of paper, but they're taped together so you can get the general idea of what is supposed to happen here with your paper. Okay? Well, these are like 6.5 inch. These were 6, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.5. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was that crazy making 5.5 inch pieces as a beginner. So here's my little template that I used a long time ago. And you can see I have rewritten numbers all over everything. So I decided to use that as an example to jog my memory into drawing this. So we're going to grab a regular empty one that doesn't have any drawing on it. I started drawing on a bunch. We're going to grab one that has nothing on it, like this, and I'm going to show you guys how this works. Let's find a good side. Oh, let's use this side. This is the area that the phone book is covering. Oh, I need another piece of paper. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm hoping that I'm in a good enough. I got all this disaster behind me, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place this paper down underneath, because I don't want any paper, I don't want any of my black on my board, on my mat, because I seem to be drawing on my mat. It's bleeding through the paper. So make sure if you use a Sharpie, which is highly recommended, honestly, guys, make sure if you use a Sharpie that you're using a piece of paper underneath, because it does bleed through phone book paper and causes all these little dots. See all those little dots right there? Oh, you can see them. Look at that. This quality of camera is amazing. All right, so we're going to start by grabbing a ruler. I'm going to reach down and grab this. And we're going to be creating our own grid for a star. We're going to start this grid off by going half to half. And you're also going to leave room for your Sharpie to fit. And yes, I'm using my regular ruler. Maybe I should use the side I've been drawing on all day. Not all day, just a couple hours earlier. I was in here playing around. And make sure also for all this that you have add a quarter rulers. I had to go find my other one. We need these for this paper piecing. I mean, you don't absolutely have to have them, but they actually come in handy. So make sure you have those if you're going to start jumping into paper piecing. All right, so I left room right here, you can see, for my Sharpie point to go from point to point. So there's my first line. And none of these are going to be exactly the same unless you write down the numbers. Right now, I'm just giving you the general idea of how this works. So once you draw your line, splitting this in half, we turn this. I'm going to turn my paper so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to come up, say I want my bottom of my star to be like 2.5 inches up, right? So we're going to come up 2.5 inches. I'm going to put a dot here so I can remember 2.5 inches, and that's going to be equal with both sides. Then I'm going to come to an outside point because this point is going to go from here to here, just as seen on this. See that? Okay. We're going to take from that 2.5 inch dot that we made, and we're going to come up here and we're going to say we want this 1/2 inch in. So there's my 1/2 inch in. Come to this opposite corner and mark 1/2 inch in. And if you don't see your lines, draw them more. Then I'm going to take my Sharpie, put it down on that dot, and draw from that dot up to the little dot that I made up there. And then I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. So I'm going to go from this dot again up to there. So there's my 2.5 inch up. So if you wanted to write it down on another piece of paper, feel free to do that. It makes it so much easier. Then, and you can even, keep these numbers to yourself and do it the same way I am, Then say you want, so next, after you go from here to here, you want to do the 5 section because we're going to go from here up to here. So we're going to do the same. We're going to come down about 1/2 inch up here at the top and make a dot. So on both sides, that's where I'm going to stop, is up here at this dot. I'm hoping that this is automatically focusing for me. And say I want to come over 2 inches now on this one. So I'm going to put a dot here at 2 inches so I can see that right there. And I'm going to measure on this one 2 inches over, and I'm going to put a dot right there. So now it's going to be 100% equal. We're going to line up that dot to this dot right here. Come on, stay right there. And we're going to draw that line. Then we're going to come over to the opposite side and line up the dots again. Pretty much drawing dot to dot project here on our paper, creating our own template. So there we have that. So now, as you can see, here's the more clear one. We have this section, and this section right here for the bigger one. Okay. Now to add the star point that is in between. So this star right here, like that. And for an example, I'll pull this back out. We want this star piece now, right here. So now, say we want to come up, I don't know, 1.5 inches. That works. So we're going to come up 1.5 inches, which would be right there. And we're going to come to this other center and come up 1.5 inches. And then we're also going to come down here because we want this to come from the top this time. So we're going to come to this top and come down 1.5 inches right there. And come from this top piece right here at the point. You want at the point. You always want at your points. And come down 1.5 inches right there. So now all you need to do, if I can draw this while recording, because I'm kind of drawing sideways here, people, is we're going to come right here. And I'm going to draw a straight line from this dot out of the paper. So I'm just going to draw off the paper. That way I can create a new star point. So again, from right here at this little corner, I'm going to come off the paper. Where's my other dot? Oh, right there. There. So there's my off the paper. And I'm drawing upside down, so this kind of sucks. So now all I need to do is come down 1/2 inch, which on this paper is probably this right here. Where am I at? I'm right here. Come down 1/2 inch, which is right there. And now we're going to connect those dots. So we're going to connect this to that. and this dot to that dot. And then repeat the process on this side. This one's probably going to look funky because this one came sideways, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent the whole way through. Then it's time to number it. I hope you guys are totally understanding where I'm at here. So my outer piece right here is going to be 1. I need to put piece 1 on here first because it's going to take over this area, and it's also going to meet up with this area, which would be my background. So this is piece 1, right? The next one I will attach to piece 1 would be piece 2, because that would be the next line. After putting piece 2 on, you're going to connect a 3, because this only seems fitting to be last. After 3, we're going to connect a piece that would be considered 4. Then we would be going across this whole thing for piece 5. Now you're just going to take those steps and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last piece that you would connect is 6. So there's my star right there. It's probably going to look as I'm drawing everything sideways, but I'm hoping that you understand we went from dot, and I'm going to draw on here big, to the dot here and here. We drew that center line. We came in 1/2 inch right there. And then we came up, whatever number you want. We did what, 1.5, I think. I don't even remember now. We went 2.5 inches up this way, 1.5 inches this way, or no, 2 inches this way, 2 inches this way. You can do it however you want, whatever looks equal to you. And then, so we drew from this dot to this dot, this dot to this dot. Then we made from this right here, this little corner, a line out and a line out. Came down 1/2 inch, which the paper is marked for me, which is kind of awesome, but just measure down, and made a dot. And then we came up 1.5 inches, that's what it was, and 1.5 inches, and came out with both of these and drew from dot to dot to dot to dot. Does that make any sense? I'm hopefully not confusing anyone. Now, the next step to this, which I messed up with last week, or not last week, but the week before last, is splitting in half. 2 separate units. I'm pretty sure that this is how I did it last time. And this is what makes it easier to put it together, because let me tell you, I struggled when I came back today and I was like, what the heck am I doing wrong? And then I found my chart and I said, oh, that's why, because I split everything in half. So splitting it in half so that we can piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 together on both of these, and then cut away 1/4 inch from here and 1/4 inch from here, put them together and have that same size block again. So to be a 7.5 inch block once it's sewn back together, because you're using your add 1/4 ruler every time when you end a piece. So everything is going to work perfectly this way. Okay, so there we have it. We drew from point to point, and this is what we'll end up with. Like I said, none of these are going to be perfect. You just have to eyeball it however you want. But if you want to do them all exactly the same, I would suggest printing it all on paper like this, or cutting your phone book paper and using your printer to run the phone book paper through the printer. You know what I'm saying? You can do it that way, or you can make them all wonky to where they're not exactly the same. They're all going to be funky. And that's what I'm doing today, is funkiness throughout the whole entire thing. Also, to add to direction, I guess is the word for it, you can also take, if you want to have templates, so here would be in half. If you wanted templates to know how big you want to cut every single one of your pieces. So say you wanted all these star sections green and blue, and all this section red and yellow, and all this section purple and pink, and then all this black or white. Say you wanted it to be all specific, because 1 and 4 are your backgrounds. So if you wanted all that specific colors, what I suggest doing is chopping this up. So cutting on this line, this line, this line, this line, cutting this line, then that off, and so on and so forth until it is completely cut up. And then you will end up with something that hopefully looks like this. Let's see if I can't put this back together because the paper has been hiding it, and I'm going to put the camera on it so that you can see. So that way you have templates once it's all cut out. That way, when you take this over to your fabric, you can cut a quarter. That's if you're making them all exactly the same. I would say cut about a 1/2 inch bigger all the way around so you're not wasting too much fabric of all these shapes. This is just for the want to make it easier, and you're doing all of them exactly the same. About a 1/2 inch bigger than all of these. That way you have plenty of fabric if your pieces are not exactly the same. So there's my template cut in half, or template pieces, or whatever you want to call it. So this cut was done, and I sided them too, so I don't get them messed up. These are side A, they would be face up, and side B, which would be face up, because if they were all A's, this side would be upside down. They would be a mirror image, so you don't want that. You want them to be right sides up with your fabric. So I lettered them A and B when I chopped them up like this. I have not used the templates yet for pieces, but I'm kind of thinking of using them now, just so that I can give you guys a more 100% accurate description on how this goes. So what we're going to do, I guess we'll just use some now because I have everything all situated and out and ready. I hope you guys all understood everything I just explained right now, and that I did not lose or confuse anybody where I am with this. But I'm going to go ahead and start pulling some scraps now, and I'm just going to put them right here, and I'm going to choose pieces for them. So, and I'm just going to make stacks, obviously. So I'm going to just cut, let's just do 2 of everything for now, and we'll try to do 2 blocks while I'm on live stream. So I'm going to dig through my fabric. I don't want them to be too ugly, but I don't want them to be not too funky. I guess that's, I don't know if that's the word for it. I don't want super funky, but I want somewhat nice. Let's put a stripe. This is plenty big enough, right? Nope, not all the way. Nope, that's not gonna work. Dig through your stash, find what you have. I know I'm silly today, right, guys? That's probably not going to be. I need about a 1/2 inch all the way around. So let's do this block with this. So what I'm going to do is take my my cutter, cut that. I'm also going to cut the selvage off, and I'm going to call it this piece right here. Cut the selvage off. I'm cutting facing to me. All right, that's garbage. So there's my 4, and I also need 1, because 4 and 1. See, that's not going to work. I need about a 1/2 inch. Let's see. We're going to make it work. Make it work. Make it work. Right about there. We're going to make that work. Why? Because we're going to make it work so this is the same color. Okay. Now, let's choose some more colors. I'm just digging through my bag. Actually, I can probably put you guys up for this to watch me dig and choose pieces and say hi and talk. And I really can't see comments too well. Probably not the best place for a camera either. But I'm digging through to see what I got going on here. And if I got boob sweat, I'm sorry. Sorry in advance. Those aren't going to be big enough, are they? Nope. They will be for that piece. So we're going to do number 2 with these. So we're going to give these number 2. Totally does not go together, but maybe it does when it's all compiled together. Let's grab. That's not enough for the 3. Aha, this will be. So let's move these out of the way just so that I don't cut those. We're going to cut 2 pieces right here. Trying to get the most out of my fabric here. How about that way? There we go. So there's that. Now we need these pieces. Let's find something that goes with all of this. You guys can't even see my face. I have the camera on my boobies. This is the Tiffy Booby Show. Sorry. That sounded dumb. I know. I'm silly when I hurt. Let's tip it. There we go. So you guys can just see me. Screw it. You know that I'm choosing fabric and making sure that it's a 1/2 inch bigger than my piece. And I think I need to bring this a little bit closer so I can look at some comments, because I don't have Scott in here to do that for me right now. So we'll choose pieces and read comments. Let's try to find. Is that bigger? 1/2 inch bigger? Ah, come on. Sorta, but no, not good enough for me. That's not either. That's the only thing about scraps. You gotta, or else you can choose from regular fabric. Like I said, you don't have to use scraps for this. This will be perfect right here. I've missed a lot of comments, like I've said. I'm gonna try to get to where I was, and then I'll just slowly scroll. Oh, we want both of the 6s. Okay, so let's cut this directly in half. So here's both my 6s. It's got this flowery piece. And let's see, I need my 5s. All right, we got, they said hi to Michelle. Where was I? I didn't see. Okay, I was at the yogi comment. Okay, so we have Deanna here working on my mini. Ooh, this is a pretty color, but there's not going to be enough of that. How about this one? Is there enough of this? That's pretty. Is there? Oh, yay, there is. Let's see. Right there, 2 pieces on here. Let's trim that up. And I totally, oh, I turned the iron on, because I also have to press a couple pieces. All right. Colors are better on TV than phone. Hi, Patty. Everyone's saying hi, saying hi. What am I missing? Marcio. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Arcueid. Arcueid. I'll just say fallen, because that's the last part of it. I had paper piecing, but it was just strips. Hi, Patricia. Not late. How was it easier? Hi, Marie. From humid Canada, I bet. Humid everywhere. All right, so I have all my pieces. I gotta press a couple of these. I'm gonna move this out of the way for now, so that I could do 1 block at a time. And then I'm gonna take you guys over here. Look at that. Spin you around. I need to bring you close to the machine. Right there should be close enough.
Oh, wait.
Okay, well, you have to come over here because the camera's facing this way, sweetie. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You got to come over this way more because I can't see you. Sit in the chair.
Goodbye, guys. I think that, and I'm going to read. And Mommy's going to take my foot apart for a little bit.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right, Triana's leaving. All right, love you. Give me a kiss. I see you later. Close my door for me, please. All right. I'm going to press a couple of these pieces and then I'll be in the camera in like 2 seconds. Just making sure all of my pieces are nice and flat. And obviously I'm not seeing comments because I am not at that screen. But I'm pulling all my pieces over. Wow, they really get wrinkly inside your little stash boxes, let me tell you. All these pieces are so super wrinkly. And we're going to get to it after I press all these little pieces. How about if I take 2 at a time? Okay. And 2 more pieces to press. So I don't need to press those. Well, maybe I do. They've been folded up in there so long. Okay, so you can cut out templates to make it easier, which I'm doing for video's sake. And then the next one I'll do without the templates. How's that? That way it's definitely both ways. Okay, so I'm going to move all my little pieces out of the way because I don't want them in my cutting way, but still be able to grab them. I just don't want to be able to cut off my little add a quarter. All right. And I'm also going to put my tablet back in front of me when I catch up with these real quick. Vicky says it's raining. Whoo! So, Teresa. Shouldn't complain about all the white will be coming soon. Goes, slap for same with Linda. Heading home. Catch you when I get there. Okay, Linda. Safe travels. Let it snow. Yes, let it snow. Hi, Tracy. I'm paper piecing today, if you haven't caught on. Hi, Diane. I guess I'll watch 20 minutes. I'm going to make this design. Yeah, this is so easy, and for those of you who are watching the replay or want to watch the replay, I'm pretty sure that me explaining it a little bit better helps than last time, kind of throwing things together saying, well, you can use paper. Well, you can use paper, and you can also draw your own designs on them. I'm not seeing any new names. Trying to read through them real quick. Hot and humid. Would welcome snow. Christy. Is that Crystal? Crystals? Christy? Yeah, that's Christy, I think. Welcome. Glad you're here. And if I screw everybody's names up that are new, some of the names I just can't read them. Because I know this says Christy L. Tears. Christy L. Tears? Christy's Tears? I don't know. Future Cat, welcome. Haven't seen you here in a while. Trying to catch up. Everyone's just talking about the weather. It's like 108 here if you want to talk about weather. I was in the pool before getting on live stream because I needed myself to cool down. I was also trying to do my exercises and stretching, but it's getting harder and harder to do. Hi, Vera. Caught a live stream, been missing them. I'm here every Sunday. Here every Sunday, sick or not. June, Friday night. All right, YouTube channel, you can do it. Put a link to it. If you have a YouTube channel, if you do, you can put a link to it. Who has a YouTube channel? If you have a YouTube channel, you can post it. I don't mind. And if you can't post it because you're not a, or whatever, just tell us, put a heart next to your name, and then one of my moderators can go to your channel and grab a link if your channel is quilting, sewing, crafty related, or unboxing, quilting, and sewing. We all like everything, but we're trying to keep it to the subject matter. Is it a scrappy day? Yeah. Sue, hi. Never catch lives, usually working in the evening. Hi, Nita. I do it with my camera book, so I haven't been able to put one up in a while. I know how you feel. No, lying in the water. Grab dinner. I'm asking how. Hi, Maggie. Sweaty, sweetie. Okay, everyone said bye to Tree. Tree went home. All right, everyone said bye. Everyone's saying hi. Other people joining or something, catching paintings. Tiffany, mixing colors I've never tried. Well, I'm having fun with this. Just watch. We're gonna see. All right. And thank you for the congrats on the 2000s. I never thought I'd get. I was at 2032 a little bit ago, so I don't know what it is now. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. It helps out. It helps out. Hey, woman, my brain is still misfiring. Yeah, my brain is all just a mush mess too. All right, I'm gonna grab my 2 halves now, and I'm gonna start with 1 half. Where's my AB ones? Didn't I mark some AB? No, I did not.
Okay, we're gonna go quick.
Okay, Scott's gotta go, so give me 2 seconds.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
See you in a moment.
Okay, I am going to just move one out of the way. I'm only starting with side A, which would be this one. And I am going to grab piece 1 for side A, which is this piece right here. So I'm going to leave that out of the way. So here's my piece 1 for side A, and I'm going to make sure that it covers, see that? It covers that whole entire thing. So from the back side, you can see it is literally covering that whole A section and some. That's what we want. So I have my piece A, and now I need A2. Where is A2? So A2, I chose this right here. So here's my A2. I'm just going to move that out of the way. And I'm going to put those, I'm going to line it up right here. I'm going to put them right sides together. I'm going to make sure that they are crossing my line. And when I say crossing my line, I'm talking about this line right here that I'm going to be sewing on. From the back side, you can see that line, or from the front side, it would be this line. I want to make sure that they're 1/4 inch past that line. And I'm not even going to bother folding. So a normal paper piecing, you would fold so that you have lines. I'm not going to do that. For now, I'm just going to stick with showing you how to put this on paper. Let's cover that up properly. I'm going to put this here, and I took my pin and threw it over there. So we're going to put my pin in here. Make sure it goes through my paper. The paper is fully covered. I'm 1/4 inch beyond my line. Look at that. And now I'm going to sew on this line from there to there, or wherever it ends. I can't see because I'm showing you on the back side. So you can see the back of that line. This is why I say do it in Sharpie. So we're going to go on to the back side now, and I'm going to sew on that line. So I'm just going to go, make sure you have a smaller stitch length. So I say like, I don't know, 2.1. Okay, now that I have sewn on that line, I'm going to pull my pin out. I'll leave it right here in my sewing machine. Now I'm going to fold that back, just like this, and come over and cut. Hold my add a 1/4 ruler, and you guys can't see that part, so I'm going to put my add a 1/4 ruler here on that, and look at that, I'm barely trimming anything off. So I'm going to put my add a 1/4 ruler on and trim that away, just the excess, which there isn't much. And then I'm going to take this over and press this back at the sewing machine. So I'm going to press that back. And I left the iron on today so that I can do this properly. So now we're on piece 3. So I'm going to grab A3, wherever that may be. Where's A3? A3 is right here. So here's my A3. So I'm going to put A3 on here. Look on the back side. Actually, you can probably trim away to 1/4 inch away from the line. Makes it easier. That's probably why they tell you to fold. And fold that real quick. Along that, just like that. So I'm going to fold that on the line before, in between 2 and 3, because we're going to be trimming the excess away from the paper side. So I'm going to lay it down like this, okay? and trim that away. So I'm going to be trimming from this back side. That way I don't have all this excess. Make it easier to show you what I'm doing here. So now my next piece is perfect to line up. So now I'm going to take this one. I'm going to make sure it covers that whole 3, which it does. I'm just going to lay it on here. Right sides together. Grab my pin. If I can grab it. Gonna put it in the paper. Turn it upside down. And now I'm going to sew that line. All right. So now that one is sewn. So now I have a piece. It looks funky. I like that. And now my next goal line is this one right here between 3 and 4. That line between 3 and 4. So again, you can fold it to trim it away, or you can just lay it on there and trim it away afterwards. But I'm just going to fold and trim away. So I'll fold on that 4 line. Right there. Trim away that excess so I know where to line up my next one. I have some nice big pieces here too. So now I have a piece that looks like that. So now I'm going to get piece A4, which is this one. A4, which is plenty of piece right here. Let me tell you. Plenty of piece. Because I chose that as my background. I'm going to lie this on here. And make sure that when I fold it, it covers all of this section. So all this whole section, I'm making sure it covers that. And since I pre-cut all my little pieces, let's make sure I had this correct now. Lay that on here. Fold it back and go, oh yeah, that's plenty. Come up just a little. Like that. Oh yeah, that's plenty. I'm going to put the pin in it. Turn it upside down. And sew, I'll show you from the back side, sew that line between 3 and 4. And you can back stitch if you want, just one little back stitch, but it really does not matter. If you do or not. I did just a little bit though, but not much. Take the pin out, press it back and see, oh yeah, it covered that completely, like literally so much it covered, see, covered the whole area. Let me press it back and then I'll be back to trim it down. So I don't need all that excess. I'm just going to trim all that away. Let's put my pin right here. So I'm going to move those pieces out of the way. Okay, I just trimmed all that excess off the top. Now we're going to take this line right here, which is the 5 line between 5 and 4. It goes pretty much to the edge like that. So just like this. And I'm going to cut all the excess away from that. I mean, you can pre-fold all this in advance, like I said, but I don't know, I'm just folding and going, and it works just the same, honestly. So now this is to size with my 1/4 inch to spare. Lay my paper back out, and we're going to grab A5 now. So that was B. Where's A5? Where's A5? Where did I put it? Oh, there's A5. So A5 is this one, right? Yep, that's A5. A5 needs to cover this whole section, and apparently it does quite a lot. And we're going to line this up here from right here at this bottom piece on up, just like this. We're going to pin it into place and turn it upside down and sew on the A5 line from there. Where does it end? Hold on, I can't see. From here up here. Okay? You're always starting and stop. You know where you put that dot, your marker dot? That's pretty much because that dot is bigger than the rest of the thing. I'm sewing from that dot. I only put one little back stitch. I mean, you don't have to do any back stitching, but all right. Take the pin out, fold it back, and it covers that area beautifully, like that. So I have plenty sticking over, but don't trim away too much. I'm going to press it, and I'm going to trim away a 1/4 inch away from that step, because I still want to be able to piece this half of the paper to this half of the paper. So I need a 1/4 inch. So let me press this. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to come to this back side, and I'm going to trim a 1/4 inch away from that. And I'm going to do it very carefully, like, because this paper has no lip right there. All right, now we have all those pieces. I need to trim away from this right here. Not trim away, but you need to pull those stitches out so that we can fold that last line, which is number 6. So I'm going to fold 6 back. So you kind of pull the fabric stitches away just a little bit. And now I'm going to trim away the 1/4 inch seam on those. I'm making this look very easier than last time, guys. I need to know. Hopefully I'm helping. All right, so now we have this. So let's grab A6, which is this one. So we're going to put A6 on here. We're going to make sure it covers the whole thing, and it does. And now we're going to line it up, put a pin in it. Come on, get it. There we go. Turn it upside down, and I'm going to sew from here down to, where am I sewing to? Can't tell from the back side. All the way to the, off the paper. So I sewed off the paper. I'm going to go fold this back and press it, and then we'll trim that. So we have this funky looking thing. You're like, oh, that looks so weird. So we're gonna put you guys over here for a second. Flip you down so you can see I have B left, and I just realized my B and A are going to be touching the same colors. How retarded of me. They're supposed to be opposite, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to be the same size if I swap them. Yep, same size if I swap them. Good, because that's what I want, swapped. So I'm going to move all this out of the way, pick up my pen, put it over there. All of my other pieces now on my side A are done, so all I have left is B. But let's finish with this A. We're going to take all this, and I am going to trim away. Now, if you have a lot of excess, you can also go a 1/4 inch further away so that you can have even more of a block like this. So here's, like, just for show, here's a 1/4 inch away more. And I don't remember, what size were these papers again? 7.5, so it's an 8-inch block right now. It would be 8-inch, yeah. So if you cut a 1/4 inch, further away, because you have plenty of it, then you can have an even bigger block. So there's that. And then obviously along here, you don't even have to do the add a 1/4 for this. You just line your regular ruler up on the paper, go all the way down. So that's trash. We're just gonna move all that out of the way for now, and I'll clean up after the live stream. All right, so here is half of my star. Okay, for now. Now let's put the other half together. So we're going to do the same procedure on this half now. So we're going to start with 1, go to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's do that. So we're going to leave this half right here for now. I'm going to take you back over here. I'm going to sew with you right here next to me so you you can see cutting and trying to get every possible angle that you guys can see. Hi, Anne. I just saw your name pop up while I was doing this. The camera swapping angle. Okay. So, I'm going to grab this piece. I'm also going to turn the comments away from me so that I can see them better now that I moved the screen. Pick up my little templates because I'll probably use them later. Move all my little pieces. Okay. So we're going to start with B1. So we're going to grab B1. It's plenty big. Look at that. Even my template, because I cut a 1/2 inch bigger than it needed to be. So here's my B1 completely covered like that. And it's a 1/4 inch away from that line. So here's the line I'm trying to sew on. I want a 1/4 inch away from that. And we're going to grab B2, which goes next to it. We're going to put those right sides together like this. We're going to throw a pin in it. Get it all the way through to that paper too. Oh, get on in the paper. There we go. Throw it in the paper as well. Tip it upside down and sew on that line, which is right here. My pin is going to be in the way. Stopping on that line, or at least a stitch beyond it. Okay, so let's open that up, press it back, so that's covering all of 1 and 2, covering 2 completely. And there's hangover on this end. Don't worry about those not matching up because they're sewed to the end of this line at the piece. So let's press that real quick. And I'm going to start by folding my 2 line and then trimming my 1/4 inch away from that with my add 1/4 ruler. So I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to put the ruler on top right here. And like I said, I'm using both rulers today. I'm also throwing things around. Alright, so now we need piece 3. So this is what I chose for piece 3. So we're going to make sure that this is a nice straight line to start with because it's not. We're going to make sure it covers the whole thing, and it does. So I'm just going to line this up on here. Right here. And right there. We're going to put a pin in it. And we're going to sew on that line, which is this one. Oops, right there. Is that what I'm on? Yeah, I'm on that one. I have to look at the front, so you got to make sure which one you're sewing on. So if it's covering 3, we're sewing on between 2 and 3. So let's put this down right here. I'm going to start my needle right at that dot. Everything's laying nice and flat. I'm going to sew to my other dot, or off of it, because it does come to the end either way. Put my pin down, open this up, finger press it back, or press it with the iron, which I'm going to do. Now I have that. So now we need 4. So we're going to find 4, which is a whole line right here. I'm going to peel that out of there very carefully so that it lays flat. I'm going to use my add 1/4 to get rid of that excess right there. And then use it to get rid of the rest of that. I know you guys probably are seeing my hands are blocking. Sorry. I probably put you too close, huh? Is that better? There. Okay. So now it's covering that. So now I want to add the 4 right there. So B4. So like I'm playing bingo. I'm going to put right here. It should cover that whole section beautifully. Just like that. Let's straighten that up though, because that is kind of crooked. Just slightly. All right, where am I at? Lining that up right there. Will it cover it? Yes, it will. So we're going to put a pin in it. Just like that. We're going to sew on that line right there. Flip on the back side. Fold back. And actually, that could go right off the edge. Why? Because it can. That looks better. Much better. All right, so I'm going to press it with the iron. This is killing my legs getting up and down. I should have just sewed standing up today. All right, now we need to cover 5. So let's pop that little stitch right there. So I'm popping the little stitch out of the paper so that I can take the paper and fold it on the 5 line. Remember, these are wonky. These aren't meant to be perfect like an actual paper piecing project. If you want perfection, you'll have to get a pattern. So now I'm going to trim away the 1/4" seam on all that. Line the paper up with the ruler because there's a lip. Can you see that lip on the ruler? You can hear my nail on it. Yeah, that's how you can see. These add 1/4 rulers have a lip, see? So it works great. And I have to thank Michelle for those because Michelle actually gave me those a long time ago when I went to visit her. So now we need 5. So B5. We're going to make sure that B5 has enough to cover it, and it does. So we're going to put this right here on this line. We're going to put a pin in the whole thing. We're also going to move my little paper. We're going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to sew 5, line 5, which is from not fully at the end of the paper, right there, but from here down. So I'm going to come in kind of 1/2 inch in. So on that line, right down until I stop right before the 6th line, which is right there. So right before the 6th line, I stopped. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take it over and press it real quick. Okay, so there is that one is on now. And I do have a 1/4 inch away. Wow, I was just barely cutting it right there. All right, so that's good. All right, now we're going to go and hunt down line 6. Fold it. And then we're going to trim all that away. I'm trimming this away. I'm hoping I'm making this easy for you guys to understand for making your own. It's the same concept as doing it as the pattern, so as following a pattern. All right, so now we need B6. All right, and this will cover all that. Oh yeah, plenty. So we're going to come right here. Going to lean this on here just like this. That line is not very straight, but we're going to use it anyway. I'm going to put my pin in it. I'm going to tip it upside down, and I'm going to sew line 6. So it starts off the block. I'm just going to follow line 6. And line 6 should be touching all these tips right here at the edge. So there's a bunch of tips right here. Line 6 should be touching those tips, and I know you guys can't see it with the light. It should be touching right at the ends of all of that. Okay. And it made it there with a 1/4 inch seam all the way down. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now I'm going to go press this. It's so funky looking at first. So now I have this funky mess again. let's trim it down the same as I did with the other one. So let's come right here. So there's my other one. There's this, flip it upside down. Just going to use the ruler for this, but you can use the add a quarter if you want. So I'm going to line the ruler up on the edge of my paper. Trim all that away, a 1/4 inch away, because I have to still add these 2 seams from when I cut my paper, and I don't want to shrink my block down. I'm also 1/4 inch away cutting from all this, just to show you guys that we can make an 8-inch block, you know. And I barely have a 1/4 inch here, but we're just going to cut it anyway, just so you can see. All right, so now to take these 2 pieces like this, see that? And we're going to sew these together. Yay! I'm glad I did that extra 1/4 inch because I have a little lip there in the end. So now I'm going to put them right sides together. You can pin this if you want. And we're going to sew at the edge of the paper. Okay? So I'm going to sew along the paper because it should meet along the paper on the other side if you have a, you know, perfect 1/4 inch seam. So again, you can throw a pin in it, like I said, if you want. You don't have to. We're just going to sew along the paper because I cut this a 1/4 inch away. So let's turn the camera back over here and sew along the paper. Paper, it's okay, the paper comes out. And I'm just sewing along the paper. I'm trying to keep both of these exactly the same. And just like that. Oops. I have a hole into block. So let me press this real quick and show you. Right now it should be 8 inches roughly, but I'm going to trim it down only because I only cut it a 1/4 inch bigger all the way around. So it's, yeah, it's 8 inches, but I'm going to trim it to the paper like it's supposed to be. So my papers on the back should meet right here, see? So all that paper will come out though. So I'm actually going to go ahead just because I wanted to show you. There's the block. And it's a little bit different than this block. If you guys can see, I took the last one on this. Instead of sewing them, I sewed them together first and then added the last piece as like a crossover. You can do it whatever way you want. And what I mean by crossover is, let's clip those 2 halves out again real quick. So say I sewed half, right? I sewed all this together and even this one. And then I sewed all this top together and left 6 off, hooked the 2 sides together. And then when it got to the bottom, I crossed over the whole thing with 6 like that. So, I mean, there's 2 different ways you can do that. If you do it this way, you're still going to have the same kind of star points when you add to your next block. I don't know if you guys can tell how it works, you know. So it would be one then the other. They're going to be equal though, with 4 points coming into the center, you know, if you make them that way. But you can cross them over or meet them up at the same. I showed you guys the meet it up at the same, but the next one, since I'm going to do it from the paper itself without using my little templates, I'll cross over on the end so that you can see. So let's trim this down to size real quick so that you can see the correct, accurate size. And I'm putting my papers on all of this, and I'm also going to be sewing 1/8 of an inch around every block since I'm going to be holding them up consistently over and over and over again, that I want to make sure that all this stays together and nothing falls apart. So I'm just going to trim the block like this. And I'm hoping that I'm going into enough detail for all of you. And if not, you can just watch the video over again. So here's the size that it's supposed to be. Right there. Everything matches up. And there is a block. So can you imagine if all these alternated and it was like, say, a pink here and a purple here, and then the next one would be pink, and then the next one would be purple, and pink, purple, and then if all these were, you know what I mean? It would look really cool, opposites all the way around. So let's do the next one with the crossover. So again, I can use all the same templates if I want to, except for 6B, but I'm not going to this time. I'm just going to go off the paper itself and grabbing pieces to sew on from the bucket as I go. So we're going to move that. I'll just leave that right there for now. I got to cut this in half. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. And I want it to be mostly perfect. But I'm not going to add my 6 when I come to this side. Okay? So keep that there so you can see. We're going to start with this one. So let's grab my tub of color again. And this time we're going to do as scrappy as possible. So I'm just going to do everything a different color. So here's enough for 2 pieces. Let's grab another one. Another. I'm going to do as scrappy as I can with these. Ooh, here's some. Let's use this. Ooh, this is definitely plenty good right here. Okay, let's see if I can make all this work. Okay, so let me press all this. You guys can stare at this for a second. And this time we're going to do the crossover, which is this block. So we're going to build it the same way, hook 2 halves together, and then we're going to add that last piece. Okay. So let's come over here. I want you to be able to see this. I'm going to check comments before I start sewing. I'm going to grab half A first. And again, you can cut your pieces if you need to, or you can start with everything just as scrap like this. I know you guys need to hit. My name is shining up. Here, let's have some of me for a second. Hi guys. All right. Let me scroll. I feel like I'm looking down into the oblivion down there. Let's see. Plus this tablet gets hot. Speaking of heat, I need to check to make sure my new phone has good battery power. Ooh, 64%. That seems pretty good so far, but we're going to plug it in to be on the safe side because I don't want to die in the middle of a video. Let's see. Did that put it on the charge? Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah? Okay. Still in, okay, Charlotte's still in the hospital. Aw, that sucks. Family situation. Okay, Kathleen, you're probably gone by now. Jaded, hello. Let's see who else is here. I probably missed a lot of you, and I'm very sorry for that. So hi, everybody that's joining, because there's 81 of you here, so I definitely know I've missed a ton of you. Yes, prayers for Charlotte to get better. Can't do paper piecing. I'm going to have to watch the replay. You do beautiful work. This is not hard. I don't know why 2 weeks ago I messed it up. I don't know. I guess I was just like in a hurry to show you guys how it works. But if I sit here and take my time and show you how it works, the way I remember, then it actually works easier. So definitely a lot easier. Hi, Karen. Everyone's saying prayers, pretty nails. Yeah, I painted them last night because I couldn't sleep. They're pretty purple. I don't know about you guys, but every time I paint my nails, every time when I do my own nails, even at a salon when I get them done, I had to trim all my nails because I broke a nail. It got snagged. I told you guys, my nails are like super duper duper thin. That's why I usually get acrylic over them and overlay, but I can't afford that right now. And plus I'm sick, so I don't really want to be around the smell of it. And it's a hassle just to paint my own nails. But so even when I go to the salon or paint my own nails, but when I paint my own nails, it's worse. Does this happen? You paint your nails and it's all pretty, blowing on it or you got in front of a fan, 30 minutes later, you think that your nails are dry. Well, they should be dry. And you go to check them, and you leave fingerprints over every single nail. I literally have fingerprint smudges over every nail on this hand. The thumb is smudged to death. And this hand is as bad. The first finger's kind of smudged, but I don't know why. My nails just never, they never come out good. Oh, Vera's getting some subscribers. Good. Awesome. I have to go back and watch from the beginning. Okay, Charlotte, you got prayers coming your way. Joyce. What is the name? I don't know if there's a name. I just know how to draw it on a piece of paper. That's what I've been doing for like 4 years. Here's my original. These were 5.5 inches. I had no points on all this because back then I didn't know you needed a 1/4 inch around it to draw this out. So yeah, these are a lot different, a lot smaller pieces, probably a lot easier actually. But these are all my little papers from a long time ago. I just paper taped it together so you guys can get the general idea of how this is supposed to go. And this is not the crossover either. Notice these are the matchups, which is what I just showed you. A crossover is going to come over into this, and then this one will come over into that, and that one will come over into that, so on and so forth. Well, you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm going to show you next, is the crossover. So let's throw that back out of the way. It's fairly easy though. And if there is a name, it's probably some kind of mariner. Something, there's all these kind of stars or mariners or compass something or any kind of nautical names. Nautical names, that's the word for it, nautical. Hi, Sharon. You're not late. Nobody's late. You're not late. Now, if you show up when I'm saying goodbye, obviously that'll be late. All right, so everyone's saying beautiful. How do we look for on Facebook, please? In my description below is how to get to for the Facebook quilting group, if that's what you want to know. I'll show you guys that real quick. Very pretty love scraps. Can you show me the Facebook? Okay, so to get to the Facebook, exit out of chat. So if you were in live chat, and this works on cell phones and everything, I'm going to come in front of the screen so you guys can even see. Okay, let's make this real quick. So exit out of your chat, which is on cell phones just the same, right? Come on, X. See this little arrow right here? Click on it, and it drops down to a bunch of information. All these things you can click on under it. So you can click on my GoFundMe tip jar, my Facebook page for business, my Facebook or my Instagram, and then our group, my email, and then there's always a description. Sometimes there's instructions. My address is here, and so on. On a computer, if you were on a computer, the screen would be this way, and the YouTube video would be here, and the description is underneath it. Just scroll under. Push that little arrow down and scroll down, and it'll be under, and your videos and chat would be on the side. Let's show you. So on a computer, the chat would be right here on the side. If it turns it on. There we go. So that's how it would be on a computer. And then you'd have your chat bar along the bottom. So cell phones, tablets, all of it, you guys can do it like that. All right. Hi, Cynthia. Welcome. Chill, run them in cool water, paint my nails. It helps harden them. I've tried that. It doesn't work for mine. Yeah, fingernails because you have no teeth. I never bit my nails. I wasn't really a nail biter. All right. Let's go down to this. Can I get one of your paper with the lines on it, please? Yeah, I'll do that, Ellen. Polish won't stay long, fingernails, even the gel. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's get to this. All right, next, let's put this down right where I'm sewing so you can see. I want you to see cutting too, so. All right, let's start with, I don't know if all these sections are going to be the same, but let's try to make them the same on this one. put these pieces over here like that, and put these pieces here. So let's start with 1. So that's plenty enough to cover 1 right there, which is right here, this little section. So I'm gonna put 1 right there, and we're gonna come over 1/4 inch from it so I can see the line plus 1/4 inch. And then we're gonna grab piece 2. We'll do this as piece 2 right here, because that's plenty enough to cover piece 2. Probably even more to get the other side if I'm lucky. We're going to put a pin in it. It's all 1/4 inch over beyond my paper. We're going to tack this pin into the paper, flip it upside down, and sew on line 1. I'm going to stop right here at my dot, pull my pin out. I'm also just going to fold that line back and trim away any excess on here real quick. Where did I put the big add a quarter? Right here. Next time, remind me to stand, guys. Instead of sit sewing, I'm going to stand. And when you're doing paper piecing, I hate to say this, but leave your cutter open, because it's like, I don't know how to even say it, but it definitely needs to stay open. You need to access it constantly, unless you have one that, you know, has the handle grip. All right, so let's find the line 2. So we're going to go to 2. We're going to fold this back for 2, just like this. So 1 and 2 are together. Now we're going to do 2 and 3. So we're going to cut off this excess right here, 1/4 inch from the back side. And I'm going to save that piece because I'm going to use that on the opposite side. All right, so now we need to cover 2 and 3. So let's grab the next piece. That should be big enough. Sure, why not? Let's grab that right there. So I'm going to put this on here. That's big enough. Sure. Put 2 and 3 right here. Come on, just a little bit. We're going to put a pin in it. Don't put your pin next to where you're going to be sewing. If you know that you're sewing 1/4 inch right here, do not put your pin at your needle, because then you're going to get a lip and you're going to bump over, and then it'll kind of like divot on your line. So don't do that. So we're going to do line 2 and 3 now. And this one will go all the way to the edge. See, and I say that about the pin, it's like right there. So 2 and 3 can go all the way up, see? Because that was that center line. That can go all the way to the top from that line. So take the pin out. That's all 1/4 inch already. So now I'm going to fold this back. It covers it perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and press. Don't forget, after this video, if you're subscribed to my channel, head on over to the video that I made announcing the 2K subscriber giveaway and enter that. All right, so now we need 4, which is right here. So we're going to line 3 and 4. We're going to go ahead and fold it on that black line. I'm going to trim all that away. Just like that. So there's that. So far you can see we have a star point growing here. So I want this to be big enough. That's definitely not that way. So we're going to go this way with it. So I need to cut off the end right here. So let's cut off the end. What number is this? A4. Hold on. I'm going to kind of get a general idea real quick with my template. A4. About there. There we go. Just like that. Okay. So my general idea with my template, A4 is going to land right here. So we're going to put that right sides together. Bring it up beyond the paper right here on my corner. Just because this piece is going to sew all the way to the end. Put that pin in there. flip it upside down, and now sew the line between 3 and 4. It does not go all the way to the edge. One stitch back. So we're going to take that pin out, fold it back, just like that. I'm going to press it. So now I have this mess right here again. So now we're going to find the line right here, the 4 and 5 line, and press it. And I'm going to trim that away, all that excess, because I don't need it. Pick my piece up, and now we're going to add 5. Now remember, 5 needs to be more than a 1/4 inch bigger because you need to be able to have that side. So we're going to add 5, which this one is not perfect for, almost perfect for, not perfect for. Is this one perfect for? I don't want that matching on there. Let's grab another piece. Hold on. I know, all my weird random fabrics. Oy. This one's going to be scrappy as scrappy gets. So we're going to take this piece and cut off that selvage. My scraps have a little bit of everything in it. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera, guys. Okay. So now I trimmed away the excess for 4 and 5, right? I'm gonna put it right side together. We're gonna put this right side together. I know it's gonna cover it. I'll line it up, put a pin in it. And for anybody that's just joining, welcome. Anybody else? What was I gonna say? I forgot. Welcome everybody for being here. Thanks for joining today. All right, so I'm gonna take this all the way down the 4 and 5 line. Stay. My paper kind of got a little moved. Okay. Finger press that back. And if you guys need to get my attention, just put a the at Tiffany's Quilting Life. Just like my name is seen on YouTube, you got to type the at symbol, and then just like you see my name on YouTube. All right, now let's put 6 on this one. Oh, let's cut our 1/4 inch away, actually. So we're going to line up 1/4 inch, all this excess away real quick. Make sure it's all the way on my mat, because that's my sewing for the next, to sew the 2 blocks together. I need that line. The rest of this, we're going to fold this 6 out of the way. We're going to add 6 on this one, but not on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and trim all this away. I'm also going to trim all this excess away. So I'm going to 1/4 inch, I add a 1/4 on both sides. And then I'll trim the block to size after. I'm going to go that way. Okay. So now let's add a piece 6. And see how my piece 5 kind of missed just ever so slightly. So my next piece will just, I'll just sew it on. See? I'll start a little bit in and kind of change my angle real quick, but that's okay. I'm making it work. So let's turn this into piece 6. So there's plenty here. No? No? Does it work this way? This way is plenty. Okay. Let's make sure one more time. Let's bring it up. I want to make sure I have a 1/4 inch away. I'm going to flip it this way. Try not to adjust it. Also going to align it from here where I ended, where that piece is, and use that as my 1/4 inch. Put my pin in it, about right here. Flip it upside down. And now I know that this end is going to come up just a little, so it's going to be a little bit different than the original drawing, but as long as I touch the points of 2, 3, and 5, that way I have a 1/4 inch seam going on here. See what I mean? So I have a 1/4 inch seam. That way it touches the whole way down. It just changed the angle ever so slightly, which is perfectly fine. And I'll just trim that excess away real quick. I'm going to press this. So here's my funky half so far. So let me get rid of all this excess. So we're going to start with the center. You can see here, down there. I'm going to start with getting rid of, this is the seam I'll be sewing together when I sew the 2 halves together. So I want a 1/4 inch seam right there. Make sure that that's always there. And then it doesn't really matter on the outside for now, but I would like this piece for another part on the opposite side. So here is half of a 1/4, so 1/8 so far. All right, so let's do some more. So there's 1/2. Let's bring the other half up here. I'm on a lot longer than I thought I would be. All right, so let's change it up, but we're still going to do some of the same colors. So let's do 1. Totally not big enough. This will be. All right, let's cut off half of that. Plenty of room for 1 right there. So it's coming over a 1/4 inch. So you can see through this fabric. This a little bit see-througher than the rest, but I'm just going to make sure that that's a 1/4 inch covering. So there's piece 1. It's going to stay right there. Let's add piece 2. Let's make it this one. Why not? So we're going to line this up. Stay right there. Piece 1. Put a pin down in. Just like that. Flip it over, and I'm going to sew the piece 1, piece 2 line right there. All right, pull the pin. So done. Sewing because part of the living room. Okay, I'm going to press this. Okay, let's find the next piece. So between 2 and 3, because we just added 2. That's 1, that's 2. The next will be 3. So 2 goes to 3. So let's put 2 and 3 together like this. Fold that back. We're going to cut that excess off from the back side, from the paper side, not from the front side. So now I need to grab a piece for 3. Let's use this. I need a straight edge though for that. Alright, that'll be perfect. So let's put this as piece 3. I want this one to cover all the way on the end because this line, piece 3, is a straight line. That's sewing. I'm sewing from way down here all the way off the paper. So I need to make sure it goes beyond the paper. So we're going to put the pin in there, all the way through all the paper, flip it upside down, and we're going to sew from down here on my little point, all the way off. Okay. Flip it back, let's go press it. Not let's, I'll go press and then bring it back and show you. Alright, so there's that. Okay, so that's on. So now let's go. We just added 1, 2, 3, so now you need to add 4. So you need the line between 3 and 4. So I'm going to find that line right here. And if you have to snip a little bit away, do so. Not snip, but pull the paper apart. Now we're going to trim that paper apart off right on this back side. This is very time consuming, and there is also lots and lots of scrap waste with this. I mean, you can start using up all those little bits, and I'll show you when I'm done just from these 2 blocks how much waste there is over there. Let's see, piece 4. Let's do this. Sure, why not? Let's see. Right here. No. From right here. Yep. Okay, so we're going to sew this one on now. I'm not going to care about this pinked edge. I'm just going to make sure it's in there. I'm also going to pin this. And now I'm sewing on the 3-4 line. So that one does not go all the way to the end. So it starts at that straight across line. And then I stop at my dot.
Do you want me to read?
That's over there, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm way behind, so if you want to just go through as far,
No,
go up about 3 minutes worth or 5 minutes worth.
Read what's on the page. Okay.
It's directed to me, or you can just read it out. I don't care. All right, so now we have this. Looks kind of funny. You're like, oh, hey, what do you do with that? And look at all this leftover hanging off. Don't worry about that because this is going to be, since we just sewed on 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go to line 5. So we're going to find line 5. We're going to fold it on the black. And now I'm going to trim all this excess off. All this from this side. Keep this side facing up. So we're going to do that. And Scott's in here to read comments for me because I'm way behind and he's home from the store, so it makes it easy. All right, now let's put piece 5. And this is plenty, so we're going to add 5 on here. Keep a little bit excess hanging. Like
really
that.
Have any questions? Looks like they're all
If you guys have questions, now is the time to ask because Scott is actually in here to ask. So again, we're adding 5. It's pinned. We're going to sew from here all the way to that hang off right there, or I'm starting at the hang off at least. So I'm coming from off the block or off the paper, across the paper, and then I'm stopping right at the juncture before 6. So right here, you can see that I'm stopping. Oops,
You don't have
where
your
we
little
are.
mic on?
No,
Oh, can they not hear me then?
they can hear you.
Okay. Did you guys all get your blocks that I shipped out on Monday?
I'm pretty sure everybody got their blocks finally.
Well, Sarah's on here. She's been talking, so hers was sent on Monday, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Diane say if she ever got hers?
Yeah, Diane got hers.
Good.
Oh, 5 was the last one, so I'm going to go ahead and trim away as if I was doing 6. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go to this 6 line. We're going to find the whole thing, and we're going to trim all this excess away as if we were going to do number 6. And then we're also going to trim away this whole entire other side. So let's do the line as if we were doing 6, but we're actually skipping 6 at the very moment. So we're going to trim away this line. I could probably back the camera up just a little bit.
Diane says she loves her block.
All right, so
Did you hear, honey?
yeah, 6 is ready, but we're gonna not do anything yet. We're gonna take right here, see this line, and now we're gonna cut all this excess off from 5 1/4 inch away from the paper, because if we joined the papers without that 1/4 inch seam, they will not match up. It needs to be 1/4 inch away from the paper. So let me cut it and then I'll show you, because the camera's giving you guys some booby shots again. Me and my booby shots today. So here it is, 1/4 inch away. Okay. So now 6 is not on here yet, and we're going to keep it just like this, as funky as this is. Actually, we'll trim this away just so it looks better. Let's trim that off real quick. 2 seconds. All right. So it's mostly nice. Now we're going to take these 2 sides right here. We're going to put them right sides together. lining up these ends. You can also nest up. Oops, let's open this. You can nest up right here to where you come in at a 1/4 inch where your 2 blocks are going to meet. It's up to you. Making sure that it's nice. I'm going to lay it perfectly flat. They are right sides together. Paper is still on here. Everything's nicely trimmed, and I'm going to sew now right next to the paper. So it'll go through the paper, next to the paper, but not through the paper. On both sides, across this whole entire thing.
I believe Nita got hers. She says, I am sure Scott liked them, so I think she got hers.
Oops, stay. And I put a little back stitch right here because we're going to be adding that 6 piece last. So I'm going to go ahead and press this open like this. So see, my points aren't perfect, but they're video good. They're video quality good. They're not perfect. They're video quality good for you guys to see how this works. Okay, so
is this video better than normal?
Yeah, it's actually a lot clearer.
With the new...
Yeah, the charger, though, is a slow charge, it says. So I gotta hurry up. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let me press these 2 real quick so that you guys can see the next step.
Did you tell them all about your ordeal this week?
That my phone broke?
Yeah. No?
Yes, they know I had to get a new phone, and I told them exactly what my phone was, and that I'm happy that I have a way better quality phone now.
Yeah. We've been going through a lot this week. It's been rough.
All right, so now I need to add the 6 piece, but the 6 piece is going to stretch across like this. So technically, what I'm going to do is fold 6 back like this, and I'm going to fold 6 back like this because we're going to cross over just like this. So this is nice and straight. See this? We have a nice straight line right here. Okay. I'm going to trim away 1/4 inch. I'm going to show you how this looks in 2 seconds. So see that? Because I don't need that, but we're going to need the seam. So when this is flipped back open, now I have a nice straight line for a crossover. And we're just going to leave these separated. No big deal. We're just going to sew right past everything. So now let's grab this last piece. Let's see. Let me find a color. That'll stretch across the whole thing. Nope. It's going to have to be this one. This is the longest one. Yep. Okay. So we're going to put this right sides together. I need to straighten that end up because that is very funky. Very funky.
What for you?
Okay.
Nothing?
Here we go.
No big deal? Okay.
So I'm going to line this up on here. We're going to line this up down there. We're going to put a pin in it. We're going to make sure that's going to cover it real quick because I've been known to not do the right thing. Put the pin in it. Bam. Turn it upside down. And now we're going to sew like you're sewing on line 6 anyway, except you're going the rest of the way down. Okay. So we're just going to start from down here at this part.
So the fold is like your line, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. I learned something.
Scott doesn't know nothing about this stuff.
She's guiding.
All right. Let's pull this pin out.
Jill says pretty block.
All right, and here we go. So this one's going to be funky because every color is different, but you'll know that it's start point. So let me press 6 out, piece 6, and then we're going to turn the camera.
Do you want me to turn it for you?
Oh, I got it.
To the...
All right, we're going to come over to the cutting board, and I'm going to show you on the way over this big mound. And this isn't even all of it from today. There's some pieces in here that are usable and some that are not.
Okay, I'm going to...
This is just from the 2 blocks.
It would be block.
This is everything from the 2 blocks. So there is a lot of waste, but you keep going and keep going. Like, you know, if there's enough pieces to fill it out, you can keep going. That's where I said making the templates, making these helps, because then you can say, oh, well, this one is enough, or that one is enough, or blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's come over here. Back down right here. There you can see. And now... it doesn't look right at first, but let's trim everything away now. So I'm going to come a 1/4 inch beyond using my ruler here. cut a 1/4 inch away. And look how much more I'm throwing away, but I'm not really throwing it away. It's going right back into my bin. So this is if it was to be a 1/4 inch bigger all the way around. Okay, that's what it would look like, a 1/4 inch bigger all the way around. But now we're just going to trim it to the correct size, only because I just wanted to show you that's what it looks like. So we're going to go correct size now. I know it seems like a little bit of a waste of fabric, but I definitely wanted to show you guys. And the paper comes off just the same as it does like the last time, but I'm not pulling the paper off of these blocks because these are for somebody. That's the only reason why I'm on here doing these blocks today. Well, actually, it's not the only reason I'm on here because I'm on here, but today's blocks were these and making sure you guys understood how this works. So, all right, let me press that bottom piece because it's not staying the way I like. All right. And there we have it. So here's that crossover on the 6 piece. You can do that with, like I said, you can do not crossing over or crossing over. So every other piece on a crossover, can you see how this is going to work?
Everyone's liking your block. They're saying really pretty.
So
they're liking it.
If you cross over every time, every block is going to sit into the next. So when the next one comes on right here, see, and then it would be opposite and so on and so forth. Making sure that you're always doing side B as your crossover. If you don't want to do crossover, do it like the original and put the 2 pieces together. So here are my 3 blocks. Let me show you how I sew all the way around them to be done with them. To keep them from, so that way when I'm moving them around all the time, that none of the seams of anything, because it is paper pieced, come apart. So let me sew that real quick on these 2 blocks so that you can see real quickly. Like, I just go about 1/8 of an inch away all the way around. I move the paper out of the way for this because it will not tear if you don't. I mean, you can take the paper off at this point, but I'm not for shipping purposes. I just want it away from all these edges so that I can sew them. Pop it off of there. I'm really hoping that I helped those of you who are really struggling with paper piecing understand a little bit more. There's so many paper piecing, they probably go more in depth, but this is to do it yourself. This isn't just something that is all over the internet. This is something you draw up yourself, put it together yourself. Everything is all you. So I'm just sewing 1/8 of an inch around the edge. You can do as many scrappy colors. If you're doing them all exactly the same, all your scrappy colors will line up. And they'll be really awesome scrappy stars, like super duper awesome.
Michelle says it's scary.
Scary? What's scary? Paper piecing? No way. No way. If once you get the hang of it,
can't do scrappy. It's scary.
well then that's why I said cut out the little pieces. Cut out the little pieces, you know. So here's scrappy. You can tell that it's a star. I mean, but if you cut out your pieces in advance, so say this was orange, yellow, make sure all of your 1A are orange and all, sorry about that. This is A6 are orange and all of your B6 are yellow. Make sure all of your A1, A4, B4, and B1 are all the same color. So that way your points from A2, A3, and A4 or B3, 2, and 3, sorry. And then the 5s right here are all opposites. So you can make all these black. So 1, 4, 4, and 1 black. Then you can say A2 is green. So that means the opposite B2 would be green. That, you know what I'm saying? And then say A3 is green and yellow go together. So say that was yellow. then this side would be yellow. Say that your center you want to be purple and red. So every other on the A section would be the purple, the B section would always be your red, if that makes any sense. And then on this one, you don't have to worry about it, just opposite them. So this is an actual 100% opposite, see?
One says it's a wonderful way to use up your scraps.
Definitely a way to use up the scraps. You know, it also creates more scraps, but you use up your scraps while you're at it, because you're still cutting the scraps and using them, so.
Hello, Robin. They're talking about making masks now forever.
Making what?
Masks.
This mask thing will be over with soon enough, I'm telling you. It's starting to get out of control. So I'm just tearing a little bit of the paper off, but leaving it mostly on. Just sewing an 1/8 of an inch all the way around so that nothing falls apart when it's being handled. Usually I don't cut my thread right there, but I'm trying to pull the paper at the same time. Definitely not fun to have the paper right in the edge when you're trying to peel it off if it's sewn in. Okay.
Robin loves paper.
So, I mean, you guys can go try regular patterns and so on and so forth. Now you can see I sewed all the way around the block. There it is, and I think, did I rip that? No, I did not. It's just the look of the piece of the end right there.
How many blocks did you do already?
2. Just 2, because I want to keep the video short. I have other things to do today. All right, so there they are. And obviously the papers are on it. There's one. And
She only has one choice tonight. The other movie went off. So it's on order from the library. It might be here tomorrow. It's one for the money,
and 2.
I believe, is what we're doing.
So super duper scrappy or controlled scrappy or again controlled scrappy. So this would be 6 crossover from the B side on these, and then this is putting them both together as their halves or half triangles, if that's the word for it. And these are just 1/4. So again, once they're all put together, no matter which way you do it, I would make one more that would probably make it look better, but that's what it would be. So just add one more to it and you have a star.
Those are pretty. I like it. Kathleen says awesome block. She needs to learn to do paper pieces.
It's not very hard as long as you have a ton of scraps and a ton of phone book paper. Let me tell you. Sorry for the wiggling, guys.
Yeah, we just got our 2 new phone books, our new county and our new city.
So we didn't need the other phone books anymore. So, again, make sure if you're drawing with the Sharpie on your phone book paper, if you're using phone book paper, make sure you have a regular piece of paper underneath, because it will seep through onto your cutting mat if that's where you're drawing. If you're drawing from a regular table in your sewing room and you don't want to get anything on it, paper. If you don't care, don't worry about paper. It's no big deal.
Anna says, thanks for the toot.
So essentially this is what we're building, is these, except last time I screwed up, so it has to be in half. I knew I was doing something wrong when I said, what did I do wrong? I did that wrong. So yeah, it's in half. It's not build all the way across, because it doesn't work that way. So it's building them in half like this. And then you just draw a ton of them up. Look at that. See, draw a ton of them up over and over and over, and just start putting them together. Oh, here's the most clearest version. This one doesn't have very many page stuff on the page. So you're pretty much drawing. Always know exactly what you're doing. Just draw up like 2.5 inches, put a dot, take that dot out to 1/2 inch from the end on both sides, put dot to dot. Then for the next one, go for 5. Cross that over, make sure it's you know, about a 1/2 inch from the end because you want a seam allowance, and then draw from dot to dot. So this is about 2 inches, right? Or yeah, 2 inches. So it was 2.5 up, 2 inches out, 1.5 inches here, 1.5 inches here. I just do that line straight. These weren't from exactly at the point, but I would say go from the point out and then connect the dots for the V right here. It's an upside down V if you look at it this way. You can make your own however you want it. Just make sure that both of your halves, if you only want, say, 6 and the 5 section, make sure that both halves are equal and that you cut it in half and put them together. And make sure that when you put them back together that you have your fabric a 1/4 inch away from that edge, because you need to be able to sew them together to have that same size block, unless you don't care. But then you'll lose all your points. So make sure that you have 1/4 inch away. So
Jim says my man already has
mine has Sharpie and marker and everything all over it. So.
And Patty wants to know what's the smallest scraps you save inch-wise.
I don't save anything smaller. Here, let me just grab one to show you. If it's a funky looking piece like this, I'll probably sew a bunch of these together to make something. Again, like this. So I could sew these 2 pieces together and create something, so on and so forth. But I say this piece, I'll chop. Where's it at? So you see this long piece? I don't need that. I won't use that in scraps, so I'll chop it off, just like that. I don't save anything when it comes to crumbs. These are my crumbs. I don't save anything that has like this end. If this was the only piece of it right there, I wouldn't save that. I'm trying to find a piece. I'm not going to save this.
It's small too.
But maybe this end can be used.
Jim says his phone book is small. He only gets 5.5 inch squares.
Oh, he's getting small. Yeah, this one got
ours is
7.
doing 8.
No,
7.
they're 7.5 inch.
Oh, well, when you put them together, yes.
Yeah.
7.5.
So I'll save this, but I won't save what I just threw. You know, so no more. You know, like this one's kind of too small. I would say that's too small. So anything smaller than an inch. If I don't get an inch this way, you know, at the ends, then I don't want it. So there's no inch right here. I don't want it.
Patty says, good to know.
Yeah. I definitely throw all these in my pile of stringy pieces. And actually, Darlene Mashad has a great video. I know you guys probably know who she is. She's got a lot of subscribers. She has a great video on making fabric from fabric slivers like this. So she takes slivers like this from all sorts of different fabrics like this. I don't know how well you guys can even see this, but she takes slivers, the really, really long ones, you know, from trimming fabric, and she makes fabric out of it by sewing it to muslin, which is actually a really cool idea. If you guys want to do that sometime, maybe we can try her thing and see how it works. It looks neat, you know. I don't have any muslin, so I can't really make it, or do I have any plain white fabric? So, but yeah, one of these days we can mess around and see what that, you know, does.
Joe, what stitch length do you normally use with scraps?
With scraps, I always use a tiny stitch length, under 2.3. Anything 2.3 or less. I never 2.5 like most people stitch length. I don't ever use that really. Right now it's like 2.3. So I never go anything, especially for paper piecing. I still want it to rip out, but I don't want it to be too tight that I can't rip it if I mess up. Because, yeah, anything smaller than 2 is kind of too tight. But if you're using regular paper from your printer, you definitely do want a tighter stitch, because that's the only you're going to perforate the paper enough to rip. So you want at least a 2.0 or less for yours to be perforated to get that. You want it to rip just like that when you tear it away from your paper, from your fabric. So just make sure, if you're using printer paper, you need a smaller stitch length. But with the phone book paper, it don't really matter. 2.3 or less. I have it at 2.2, 2.3 right now. It's somewhere in that middle. This doesn't have that number. It's just closer to 3, closer to the 2 than it is to the 3, and it's not in the half. So
they like Darlene. They're saying she's funny.
Yes,
I love
she
watching
is.
her.
But yeah, I just watched her video. She took a bunch of strings and hooked it to fabric. I think I saw it before, but I watched it again and I thought, wow, this is kind of neat. And I have bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of that, since dog beds can't be stuffed with it anymore, supposedly. So I might make something out of it all.
When did that happen? You can't stuff dog beds with it.
Since the Humane Society moved to the new building, they
I
don't
didn't know
want
that.
stuffed dog beds with fabric anymore. They want actual stuffing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, any other questions?
Are you done already?
Yeah.
I just got here.
I have other things to do.
What?
I'm going to go hang out with T. T is doing a thing
Oh.
tonight, so I'm going to go hang out over there.
Oh, I didn't know
Which
that.
you guys can all do too. So if you guys don't know, T Quilts, she's on YouTube. She's also on Facebook. Tonight's is on Facebook, I
Why
think.
didn't you tell me we could have went to grocery shopping tonight?
Oh, that's fine. I got what I needed to get done. I got it done. I made 2 blocks. I told them in the beginning it wasn't going to be long, and I'm still at probably like 2 hours by now. What are the comments? Anything?
Yeah, they're just saying hi. And
Don't forget, if you're subscribed, go over to my video. You can only comment into the giveaway, the word giveaway, in that video. The 2K subscriber giveaway video. You in the comment section to enter, because that's helping me keep track. So, because so far I've got like 178 or something like that.
200 people
I'm getting
now.
close to have written down 200 names already, because I'm writing them on paper. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. There's a lot of names. So make sure you guys go over there and enter, because midnight the night before I come on next Sunday, I'm not taking any more names. So if you enter after that, it's your bad luck that you didn't go when I told you to.
You're good for doing midnight. I wouldn't even go that late. As soon as the girls go home
I'm
on
gonna check it
Saturday.
one more time and that's it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for Sew Sunday. I hope I made paper piecing your own star a little bit more easier. I hope I didn't go too fast. I try to go slow, but it's very hard for me. I try to talk slow, but that's hard too. I'm hoping that I helped ease you guys into trying your own paper piecing from a phone book or from any paper. You can take, I guess, like I just said earlier, take the same page that you drew it on or paper, put it in a copy machine, and make, you need 4 to make 1 block. So make, I don't know, 20, to get 4 blocks, right? 4, 8, 16, 20. Yeah. So you would need to make 20 copies, make 24 just in case you want to screw up accidentally. So you can draw them out on a regular paper, whatever size you want it. Make sure you have that 1/4 inch seam or 1/2 inch seam in my case, because I always screw up, away from your edges. And don't forget to cut it in half, and this makes it so much easier. This is make your own. And if you want to eliminate these 2, do that. If you want to make it all a specific color order, make sure every single piece is, make sure you put that in your head that your pieces are together, at a certain color, like I've explained through this video. So I hope it was good enough, and I hope I helped you guys understand this, as well as I hope you try it. And if you do, post it in the group in the description below. Join the group on Facebook and share your pictures. Share what you guys are doing. Share your project. Share whatever, as long as it's quilting related, or crocheting, or whatever it is that you guys do. I like quilting. That inspires me. I don't know how to crochet. You guys make me want to try, but it's not going to happen. I've tried millions of times. It's not going to work. Anyway.
They're all saying good night. You're
all
the
right.
greatest, and thank you.
So
and
thank
take
you guys
care,
for hanging out.
Have
good
a
night.
good movie night.
Love you all, and I'm going to go do
Goodbye.
everything else that I do on Sundays. Love y'all. Bye.
Do you want me to hit? Okay. You can hit it.
This was so much